Hi, I'm Lippy.
And I'm Grumpy. Together we're Lippy and Grumpy Do Podcasting.
In this episode, Batman, satellites, Captain Kirk, and we're beginning to talk a lot like Christmas.
Now, Lippy.
Hello.
Hello. Do you realise it's a year since we started this podcast?
Is it?
It is, yes.
I hadn't.
That's flown by.
That really has, hasn't it? Crazy.
We started this because we wanted a bit of fun in a difficult period. Weren't too worried about listeners, which is probably just as well.
Yeah, probably don't have too many, but that's okay.
But we had quite a few people wish you congratulations on the social.
Thank you, everybody.
Which was very nice. And I had a message from the Screaming Tomato, who reminded me that we worked together when you were born. And we're both feeling very old.
Yeah. Old now.
Well, you're old. Think how old we feel. So we were both working for a company called Bank Tech. A bit of it in Maidenhead and a bit of it in Leicester, which was a bit unpleasant. Quite a lot of driving.
God, so much has happened in a year now as well, hasn't it?
Has quite a bit.
Well,
yeah.
for me.
Yes, it has been a bit exciting, yes.
I've bought a house, got engaged, and got a job.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
That's not bad at all.
Well, thank you all for getting in touch and wishing Lippy congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much.
And those suggested I ought to start saving.
That would be helpful for me, to be honest.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Not going to happen.
That's what credit cards are for.
They are most definitely not.
Yeah.
Those for car parts.
No, they're for weddings.
Moving on. So I've booked the Shark is Broken tickets for January.
So excited about that. Literally
Really
so
looking forward
excited
to it.
about that.
Yeah, I saw a couple of pictures from the show. It started, I think, on Sunday. And it looks brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm looking forward to that immensely.
Yes, that will be good.
Now, I'm not a massive fan of these inspirational messages that pop up on the socials from time to time, but actually quite a lot. You sort of read them and you go, yeah, but, because there's always, quite often it's a very singular point of view. Nevertheless, I came across one that is absolutely bang on. And the message is, whatever you do today, do it with the confidence of a 4-year-old in a Batman t-shirt.
I like that one. That's a good one.
I think is brilliant.
Yes.
Just to carry on the Batman theme is the 90-year-old gentleman that swims on a Monday morning, Giovanni, wears Batman trunks.
Does he?
Yeah.
You've been looking at 90-year-old man trunks.
Well, when he gets out, you can see they're very clearly Batman trunks. Okay. I'm not staring at him. I'm just taking in a vista as I slowly make my way up the swimming pool. But clearly it's either he was Batman, which is possible.
Or just a fan.
Just a fan, living the dream. And I also came across a fun fact on the socials as well this week, which I'm going to do early. So it says fact number 79. Every day, 1.6 million apostrophes are brutally, needlessly forced to make words plural, which I believe they call the grocer's apostrophe.
But they're also missed out as just as much.
Possibly, yeah. I think they're inserted more than they're left out, I think.
Do you?
There is a surplus, yes, I think so.
Oh, we're going to have an apostrophe on our wedding invites. Do we?
Well, it depends what's the sentence. It needs some context.
Let's have a look at the invite that I've already got a sample
Oh,
of.
dear God.
Oh, no, you just have your names and then it's invite you to join them. So it would just be Laura and Chris, invite you to join them. So not we're inviting you to Laura and Chris's wedding, because Chris is not a fun apostrophe.
No, it's not. You avoid the apostrophe dilemma with that. That's a good move. So while we're talking about wedding planning, what news?
Well, it's only been a week. Well, just over a week. When you're listening to this, it will have been exactly 2 weeks.
Yes, it will, won't it? Yes. Seems to have been a lot of telephone calls.
A lot, because I think, like when I moved in, it's the overexcitement. I'm just really excited. I don't know how many people were aware, an ex-wedding planner. So I just feel like I just want to get it done. Get it booked, get everything sorted, and then I can just enjoy the time leading up to it with the least stress possible. But yeah, so last week I did loads. I did So we're booked in to see 3 venues, one of which we think is the venue we want. We're seeing that one first on Saturday. So hopefully by the end of next week we'll have a venue.
Brilliant.
And a date then, like an actual... I've got a date that I want, but not a real date. So then we'll have a real date.
Well, it is a real date. It's just not confirmed.
Oh, it's not a real date to me. It's just a boring
No,
date.
it is a real date. A not real date would be the 30th of February.
Okay, well, it's a non-wedding date then. And then I'm going dress shopping, which I'm so excited about. That's booked in for November, which again is like a year and 6 months ahead. But I've got to start, like, if I just find a dress, then I don't have to worry, do I? And then,
Well, as long as you don't pork out on Cornish pasties and donuts.
yeah, exactly. Also, if I try on dresses before Christmas and pick the one I want before Christmas, then I can have my first fitting April of next year, and that will have given me time to put the weight on and then hopefully lose it a bit over Christmas period.
Hopefully.
That was my thinking. Yeah, we've got our guest list, so we can actually, once we've got a date, we can send out invites.
Yeah.
But I don't know if
very
that's
true.
too early.
No, definitely not.
I don't think any time. We're not doing save the dates. That's just a waste of money, that. Just go straight in with the invite.
Yes, I suppose so.
Saving paper.
Very true.
Better for the environment.
You can
Saving
send it
money
with the Christmas cards you don't send.
instead of a Christmas card. And hopefully save us on some postage, because we know we're going to be seeing people. We can just take them with us.
Yes.
We don't have to post things. Then we don't have to know people's addresses, because I don't know anyone's address.
Well, we covered this some while back with Christmas
cards. There's a whole nother thing of addresses that I don't know again.
But we can supply addresses.
Yeah, I can find addresses out, but then, like, I guess I'll just ask people for their address, don't I?
Well, it's not that difficult. People have been doing it for many, many years.
Yeah. I just don't have an old school address book, you know?
Well, that's what the phone's for.
True. But yeah, so I've also decided that we're not going to send a little, like, RSVP card. Instead, we're going to put an email address and say email. Because I feel like the reason people take so long to come back saying yes or no is because they forget to post the RSVP card.
Yes, or they don't do it straight away.
Whereas an email is very quick and easy to do. And then if I've got any questions, I've got their email addresses. I can just email them back. It's all in one place on my personalised email address that I have made.
Does this fall under the Data Protection Act?
Why would it?
Oh, it's personal data.
But I'm not giving out anyone's personal data.
Well, you don't have to. It's personal data. Mind you, it's not for commercial use, so
Yeah.
you're probably okay.
I'm not selling anyone anything.
Well, you don't have to be.
Well, I'll sell them a ticket to my wedding.
No,
There
you've
we
got
go.
you've got personal data. Anyway, I'm not going to discuss that because that's quite dull and boring. So, is there some sort of service you can set up where people, instead of an email, to go onto a website and go, yes, please, here are my dietary requirements?
I think so. There are wedding websites, but I haven't really looked at that. I feel like I'm organised enough I can just do it myself without having to do it through a website. I have a feeling you have to pay.
Oh, almost certainly.
And I'm a super organised, but I've already got like 4 spreadsheets just for the wedding. So
Super organised and slightly tight.
just bought a house.
Well, why? Yes, indeed. Yes. When's the hot tub coming?
That will be after the wedding now.
Okay. Oh, that's a shame.
Everything apart from the bathroom has been pushed because obviously we need a new bathroom.
Yes.
That's quite an important one.
Mind you, we've been saying that for 25 years and still haven't done it. So.
Well, we've done something similar to what you did in the bathroom. We've ripped the carpet up in our bedroom, and that won't be being done for a good amount of time now. The wooden floors look kind of nice.
Yes, it's all right. It's absolutely fine.
Exactly.
Yes. Anyway, changing the subject quite dramatically. Do you remember we talked about the Japanese subway? And
Yes.
they have pushers on there, not pushers of substances, but pushers of people into carriages.
Yes.
Again, on the social. And I assure you I do spend some time not on social media. It's very little time. I came across a video of them in action, and it is astonishing. And they seem to be, certainly in this video, more concerned about pushing bits of people in so you can get the doors shut.
Yes.
People are pushing their way into what looks like an already overcrowded train.
Like, how would you get out of that?
That has always been my worry with tubes and getting stuck right in the middle of the carriage and then having to get off and not 100% certain where I'm going. I think if you do it every day, you sort of get used to it. But an occasional London visitor, it's a little bit worrying, really.
Yeah, I don't tend to go and sit down. I normally always stand by the doors.
I prefer to lurk by the door so I can jump off just in case there's some sort of incident, but rather than fighting through. I did once go, when I was working in London, I broke my foot. I did go up in with crutches, which was interesting.
Oh.
Thinking that people would get out of your way. And there was one incident when I was waiting for the tube to come, and I was leaning on one crutch and had the other one just sort of hanging in my hand, and somebody took it away with a suitcase and it went clattering up the platform.
Oh, God.
And everybody just did nothing. Just stared, and I just hopped along, picked it up. It was astonishing.
Yeah.
Generally, the only people that stopped and helped were old people.
Because they know the feeling of struggling in a situation like that, because I'm sure they would have had it.
Yeah, well, as I reach that sort of age, then I can assure you that is the case.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll post a link to that. It was a Facebook watch video type thing. It is quite interesting. Sort of puts you off going anywhere near Japan in the rush hour. Now, some interesting news from Sky this week.
Ooh.
They're ditching the dish.
I've heard.
Yeah, really interesting. I sort of dismissed it a bit at first, but I saw a brief bit on the BBC News about it. What the chap was saying was very interesting. He said, lots of people have multiple boxes and multiple remote controls. Now, we've got quite an old plasma television with 2 HDMI ports. So there's all sorts of boxes. There's a switch box and a box of this and a box of that. None of it is built in whatsoever. So we have a plethora of remote controls. So this sort of thing is aimed at us. And the other thing they say, which again is a conversation we have most nights, is what side is Bosch on? Fortunately, one of us can remember, but the other one can't.
Yes.
So what it's saying is that actually trying to watch something is quite a fraught process. So what Sky have tried to do is to make it as simple as possible with a single television, which they've called the Glass, and one point of going and finding what you want. So you're searching once across all the platforms that are part of that, which I think is a tremendously good idea.
We can do that on our TV, though.
Yes, but you have to have subscriptions for this, that and the other. And I think the point is that you have one subscription that covers all of them.
Okay, yes.
As well, which obviously Sky are making money from, but you only have one remote control. And you haven't got to jump between.
We do only have one remote control.
But do you have to know what side Bosch is on?
No, you just search for the channel or the show or whatever you want to watch.
Okay.
And then it comes up.
It's interesting.
So that's with Samsung. But you still have to be logged into all the individual apps and download all the individual apps. But because it's a smart TV, it's just all on.
Yes. But yes. So I think the idea of the Sky thing is it arrives, you fit it wherever, you turn it on and away you go. And that's it. There's no more.
There's no logging. Well, you'd have to log in, but...
Presumably, but you're only logging in once and you're not logging in several times.
I wonder if that stops the whole more than one household using the same account.
Don't know. I don't know how it works with
Sky.
Obviously, we don't do that.
I definitely don't log on to your Netflix account.
No, I have never sat down to watch something and found that I can't get onto it because you're not
Two
on
other
there.
people are on there.
Yes, exactly. One of them is at work.
Yeah. I love it when I see that because it comes up as just someone's iPhone and I'm like, what? Who's watching Netflix on their iPhone? And then
only one person. Yeah,
someone at work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it used to be, not anymore.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Anyway, I did a bit of research into Sky because I started in the UK in 1989, but its origins go back into the late 70s. I remember quite clearly there was obviously Sky and there was British satellite broadcasting with the squarial, which was a much reduced sized almost flat square thing that went on the side of the house. And they didn't last very long. They went kaput. And it's interesting looking back at that. Sky for the UK launched the 4th channel. So not a great deal on there to begin with.
No.
And, certainly compared to now. Yeah, so 30 years it's ballooned into hundreds of channels. A few of them are okay.
Yeah, we've never had Sky per your house when we were kids. I remember once when we were kids, we got free Sky for like a month or something.
We did have Sky for a while.
Ever.
No, we did have it for a while.
Did we?
And it just, it got very expensive.
Yeah.
And that was the thing.
So I've never really thought, whenever I bought, like in my flat, I've never thought, oh, I should get Sky, because it's never really interested me. I've always been happy with just the normal TV shows, and then obviously when I moved out, you could get Netflix on your TV. So
Yeah, what you have to remember is that when we bought Sky, there was only 4 channels on terrestrial television. It wasn't like it is now with many, many free channels, although they're not very good, but you can supplement with stuff that you do enjoy relatively cheaply, and certainly more cheaply than
buying
Sky was costing at the time. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that pans out. There's definitely a marketplace for that, I think. Anyway, the other thing I saw one of many things I saw this week is the Lancia Delta, which is a car I have owned 2 of and absolutely adore, and unfortunately have never managed to buy an Integrale, which is the rally homologation special. Anyway, Lancia have had rather odd path of late, reducing their models, I think, down to 1, and they pulled out the UK ages ago. But they are bringing the Delta back as an electric vehicle.
Look at that. It looks like a Batmobile.
It does look a bit like a Batmobile. These are, I think, sort of journalists' impressions rather than anything else. It depends which one you're looking at. Which one are you looking at? The red one?
The black one. Well, it's like grey rather than black.
Yes. Well, that is quite something.
That looks swanky.
Yes, I mean, that's based more on the Integrale than the 2-wheel drive Delta I had. But yeah, that would be awesome. And a bit of a conversation going on in my head is, if I was to buy an electric vehicle, would I buy an Italian one? They're not known for their wiring prowess, to be honest. And certainly one of the ones I had, the wiring for the interior light was just completely bonkers. Take it all out and put it back together again.
Maybe give it a bit of time once it's come out. Let other people discover the issues with it.
Yes.
Wait till they fix them and then get one.
Yeah, I have posted a picture of the red Delta before. I think it is an artist's impression of that. But if it looks half as good as that, then yes, please. But it wouldn't have exhaust pipes.
Oh, God, no. I was so confused for a second then. I was like, why? It's a car. It has to have an exhaust. Then it clicked. Obviously, electric.
No, not if it's electric.
Not if it's electric.
So, just interested to see what happens there.
Yes.
Now, I'm quite a keen follower of things space-wise.
Yes.
And there's another Blue Origin flight going up. And guess who's going to be on this one?
Who?
Captain Kirk.
Is he?
The original Captain Kirk, William Shatner, who is 90, should be going up. He should have gone up by the time you're listening to this. It was Wednesday. He was due to go up. It had been postponed for a day. Absolutely brilliant. He's a man who doesn't take any nonsense on social media. A few people have been ripped off a pace by this this 90-year-old who's going into space. I mean, that's amazing.
After all those years of filming being in space.
Yes, with very wonky sets and gravel pits and things like that. It's an inspired choice, I thought.
Yes.
So we wish him all the luck with that one. Somebody did suggest that when he comes back down, we should all wear Planet of the Apes masks. So he's come back somewhere else.
That would be really funny.
It would be funny, but it might push him over the edge. Who knows?
Yeah. Why is that not being done as a prank? For like the people that go and collect the astronauts that have re-landed after ages.
That's a good
gorilla
question.
Suits or something.
I think those people are quite serious about their jobs. Whereas you and I would find that hilarious. But we probably wouldn't have a job at the end and is not a good idea.
Good story out of it, though.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be a good story, wouldn't it? Excellent. And we talked about game shows a few weeks back, and we've noticed that a 1980s game called Blankety Blank, which was hosted originally by the late Terry Wogan, has made its way back onto television with Bradley Walsh. I think we may have mentioned it. And it is very funny. It's only half an hour, which is brilliant. No adverts because it's the BBC. And it is very, very funny. They've had some cracking celebrities on there who I think may have taken the green room to excess slightly. Quite a lot of in-celeb banter, if you know what I mean. Yes. It's good. It's fast-moving. It's very, very simple. Very simple. And it's...
When's that one on? I might...
It's on a Saturday at 9, but that's, of course, irrelevant now with iPlayer because you can watch it at any time. I'm
normally asleep at Saturday at 9 o'clock. Although not this Saturday. Got in at 1 a.m, didn't I?
What were you doing?
I was at a leaving drinks. Ended up in a club.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very
where I live, which was weird because I didn't know there were clubs there, but all good.
No.
And then I got up and had to go shopping.
Oh, nice.
I was okay though. I wasn't that hungover.
Oh, well, that's a good thing.
So I had to leave an angry note on a car today.
Oh, no.
So I think I know whose car it was because it
Wasn't Chris's, was it?
No. Because it moved very quickly after I left the note. So I got a parcel delivered today and I was returning a parcel in my lunch break. So I got the parcel, opened the front door, and there's a van parked kind of over our driveway, but mainly our neighbours because they're having their roof done. So that one was okay. Like, it was a little bit over, but like it would have been fine if not for this little red car that was parked literally on our dropped curb.
Really?
Like, covered our drop curb. I could only just get out. I had to drive forwards back in, but obviously I couldn't do the normal way I get onto my driveway because he was parked on the drop curb. And if Chris had come home, there's no way he would have got on the drive because he can't go up the curb because his car's quite low. So he has to use the drop curb. So anyway, I went out there. Well, I came back in after I dropped my parcel off and wrote a little note saying that they're not allowed to park there. And then I thought, I'll just go and check, see if the car's still there. 10 minutes later, it had moved to the other side of the road. So I think it may have been one of the roofers' cars, and they had obviously seen me walk over to the car and put the note on it.
Right, it's a bit out of order, that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because who parks on a dropped curb? Like, I know it's not illegal, but you're not meant to park on a dropped curb.
Well, some places it is. So my mum, who lives in London Borough, you can get a ticket for parking on drop curb.
Yeah, I Googled it for our area. You can't get a ticket, but you can get someone's car towed for it. If it's blocking your driveway, you can report it and they'll tow it.
How long that would take, I don't know.
Exactly.
But yeah, we have a bit of a problem here because our drop curb isn't very wide. And there's a space between us and next door, which is just about wide enough, well, for my height. But people tend to park and then overhang one end or the other. And it's a nightmare. Some people are just ridiculous about the whole thing.
Because it's not the widest road either, so you haven't got a lot of space to like swing round.
No, and it's the last thing you want to be doing in the dark, trying to get back into your own driveway and then clobber somebody else's car. Mind you, my parking sensor at the back, or a tow ball.
Oh, I was going to say, you don't have a parking sensor, do you?
I do. It's a tow ball.
It's only affecting their car, not yours.
Well, probably not. Mind you, a friend of mine many years ago had a marina and somebody ran into the back of him and he was telling us Friday night at the pub. And I said, have you looked under the boot floor? He said, there's no damage to the car at all. I went, okay. Have you looked under the boot? He went, no. So we went and lifted the carpet of the boot and it was all rippled under there. So hitting the tow bar, which is bolted through the boot, just pushed the whole inside of the boot
Squished
back.
it.
So yeah, so you have to be a wee bit careful.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So I think our advice would be just park considerably.
Yeah, think about other people when you park.
Just think about it. Yeah, it is a pain. And the thing I don't like is when you confront people, they go absolutely mental.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is asking if you could move a little bit so I can get out of my driveway. I'm not asking you to give me your car.
No, just scoot it. You don't even have to turn it on for that. You can just do the little sneaky drop your handbrake and push it with your foot.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. Let me just move it a bit. It's all it needs.
Or I didn't quite realise I was overhanging.
Well, there's no explanation necessary. Just, I'm sorry about that. Let me move it. That's all you need.
Oh, we were talking about biscuits.
Oh, yes.
I found it's not new, but another classic in the shop today when I went and got my lunch that I bought and I've eaten most of.
Oh, Crunch Creams.
Yeah. Golden Crunch Creams from Fox. I forgot how good they are.
They are good. I have a funny story about that. My grandmother, who was 101 when she passed away, probably about 16 years ago. She obviously didn't drive. Obviously she didn't drive, not 101. But my dad used to take her back home and stuff like that. And she would always buy him a packet of Fox's Crunch Creams every time. And he'd bring them home and he'd go, I don't know why she buys these. I don't like them. I've tried saying something, and she just keeps buying them. So we have packets and packets of Fox's Crunch Cream. I think he took most of them to work in the end, just trying to get rid of them. But yes, so yes, there's a bit of a memory with that one. But I do quite like. I don't eat biscuits often, but that's one I would go for. Again, it's quite a soft biscuit, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah, it's not too hard. No.
Hard and teeth breaking.
No. I was about to say I don't eat biscuits too often, but that's 2 podcasts in a row that I've had a packet of biscuits that I've basically demolished.
Well, it was 2 packets a couple of weeks ago because you had 2 different. You had the white chocolate Christmas
Oreos.
fingers.
And something
else.
Oh, and I had white chocolate covered Oreos the week before.
You did indeed.
I need to start this wedding diet. I've also got some cheeky little bacon frazzles.
Good. I'm glad you're eating healthily.
I also had a packet of sushi. That was my lunch. Sushi was my lunch. And then they were my snacks.
Okay.
They're not empty. They'll snack me for the rest of the week.
They're not empty. Oh, I see. The packets aren't empty. No. Calories might be empty, though. No nutritional value whatsoever in those.
Well, who needs, eh?
Talking of Christmas, we've had to eat last year's Christmas pudding this week.
You still had?
We'll have it. Yeah. Yes, well, normally we'd have one at Christmas and then one
with
when
our
we meet with our
friends.
Yeah. But we haven't done that for the last couple of years because of
I thought we did do that this year.
Don't think we did. No, because everything was locked down, wasn't it? And it was all a bit weird. So we didn't do that. So it didn't get eaten. And I've only got 2 pots and I need to do this year's ones. So we've been eating our way through that, which is quite pleasant.
Aren't you seeing them next weekend? You could have just had it then.
Oh, we're going out.
Take it to the restaurant. Can you heat up our Christmas pudding, please?
Yeah, I think one of those between 4 would probably be a bit much, to be honest.
They're quite rich, aren't they?
Yeah, quite dense.
That was always my favourite time of the year, weirdly, because I think I really like autumn and like Halloween and bonfire night. And I would always come home from school or come into the house and just this massive waft of you making Christmas puddings.
Yes. Well, that'll be soon. And the cake.
I'm going to have to come home just for the smell.
I can bottle it for you.
Is that a thing?
No. And in more Christmas news, I've been making Christmas trees from horseshoes.
Ooh, fancy.
I shall post a picture on the socials. We have a Lions market store starting in a few weeks, and we're going to try and sell them on there. We've got a source of free horseshoes. Not 3 horseshoes, as in the pub, but 3 horseshoes.
Free. No monetary value given for them.
Correct. So it's just a bit of time. So there's 3 of us are going to attempt to knock these together in some sort of production line.
So will you be cutting them up to then make the...
No. There's only the base you cut. There's a bit that sticks over the hoof. So that we take that off, cut that off. So the 3 as the base, so they sit flat. But everything else is just welded together. Clean them up.
Interesting.
Bit of weld, bit of flap wheel to clean off any splatter. Bit of paint, job done.
You're going to paint them? You're not just going to leave them irony?
Well, they would probably need some sort of clear coat on them to stop them rusting.
Oh, I see.
So, we've looked at pictures on Tinternet.
Yes. Got your ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. So we could do them. We could leave them clean, and we could have lots of different ones. Really depends on how many horseshoes we can blag and how quickly we can turn them around.
Let's see. I might come and get one of those.
Oh, well, we can arrange something. Small donation to the Lions.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. I wasn't going to just steal from you.
No, I should hope not.
I'll come down and purchase one.
Well, it's Thursday morning, so it's not particularly convenient, but I'm sure. Anyway, do you have a top tip for us?
I do, ironically.
Is it about stealing Christmas trees?
No, it's bad food.
Oh, what a surprise.
My top tip, honestly, I was thinking about this in the shop and it kept going through my head, but I just didn't do it, So it's a top tip that I should listen to. If you're trying to be healthy, don't buy the snacks and then the snacks aren't there to be eaten when you fancy a snack. But obviously I just bought them anyway.
Yes, I think that's shopping 101, isn't it? Don't shop when you're hungry.
Yes, definitely don't shop
when
you're
Stay away from the snack aisle.
Yes. So yeah, that's my top tip.
That is sound advice for once.
It is. I should listen to it though, maybe.
You should, yeah. I think it falls into the do as I say, not do as I do category.
Although I have been quite proud of myself because Sunday evening we had a leftover HelloFresh from the week before, so we cooked that for dinner. But normally, like on a Sunday, we'd have like a little cheeky, like a naughtier dinner, or at least one of the days at the weekend. But we hadn't. We'd had quite like healthy dinners. So it got to like 8 o'clock and Chris was like, I really fancy some dessert. And I was like, well, if you're going to have some, like, I'll have one as well. So off he went to the shop, comes back with 2 tubs of Ben & Jerry's.
Oh my word.
Big ones, like the normal size ones. Cookie dough, in case anyone's wondering, and chocolate fudge brownie.
Very nice.
Cookie dough is my favourite. Chocolate fudge brownie's Chris's. So I was there chomping away, had the whole tub, didn't put it in a bowl. Mistake number 1. However, I only ate about a quarter of the tub because I was eating it and I thought, not good to eat half a tub of Ben & Jerry's in one sitting. So I put mine away. Chris, on the other hand, ate more like 3/4 of the tub.
Yes.
And then finished it off last night. Whereas I, again, only had a little bit, a quarter, and then put mine away. So I was quite proud of myself for that.
That's very good. We have seen Chris eat a phenomenal amount of food before.
Yes, he likes to finish his plate, so if it's there in front of him, he'll eat it all.
Yes. Yeah, well, we witnessed that, didn't we, at a restaurant that is notorious for giving very large portions.
And you didn't even finish your plate.
Well, I decided to take a doggy bag, which you can do, and I'm quite happy to do that. If I'd finished it, I probably would have exploded. Well, I have another fun fact, so it's a double fact week.
Double fun factor?
Yes, which is about bears.
Oh, I like bears.
You like bears? Well, you claim to have nearly been attacked by a bear.
No, I don't claim I was nearly attacked. There was a bear outside my tent.
Well, there was something scratching around. It could have been a hobo. But anyway, we're not going to discuss that again. So in 2014, a Russian man was attacked by a bear. Unable to fight the bear, Igor, with a surname that I cannot pronounce, faced certain death. However, his life was spared when his daughter called his mobile and Justin Bieber's Baby began to play. The bear suddenly became distressed and ran away. Well done, Justin Bieber.
So what's the fact in that bears don't like Justin Bieber?
Have Justin Bieber as your ringtone. It scares away bears, presumably the mafia, and aliens from outer space.
Good fact.
That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
You can help spread Lippy and Grumpy's view on life by leaving a review on your favourite podcast platform.
If you're not sure how to leave a review, or if you download from Spotify, there's some help at lippyandgrumpy.uk/review.
And if you would like to get in touch, email podcast@lippyandgrumpy.uk.
So it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from him.
Goodbye.
Bye.